Hi there. This is Goldmorn, and it is the 6th of February 2013, 1:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm in the dark on purpose to save you all from the excruciating detail of my deterioration. Well, I have thought of vlogging, but I have stayed so far away from it that I've refused to even look at a site I would very much like to keep up with, Vloggerheads. I know that sounds strange, avoidant behavior, but honestly I've been quite stressed, and I have tried to work on some projects as I, to keep myself somewhat, to create some habits. I'm scratching at something on my netbook. But yeah, there's no excuse for it. And I wonder if anyone can relate, though, when you don't do the things you'd really like to do because, I don't know, you can't do it the way you'd like to, so you're like, why bother? I don't know. I was making these monthly vlogs that were compiled of clips of what would happen throughout the month. That project sort of died with me, along with a piece of me that is left behind in the beautiful Toronto beaches. I did make clips in December, but I hardly went out after the move, and that's continued to be the case. I've gone out for appointments. I've gone out a couple times to the store, the bank, across the street. But honestly, I've been quite reclusive, much to my detriment socially and physically. It's certainly not helping it's one of those cyclic things. My weight is high. My weight would be lowered if I would go out and be active, at the very least for walking and taking photos, but I don't go out and walk and take photos because of the way I look, and so I continue to look that way and not walk and take photos because of the way I look, so that doesn't change, so I don't walk and take photos. Mental illness is that's another thing. I went a few weeks without any medication, and I'm already, I forget just how bad it can get without medication. Already just two and a half days into being back on my meds for anxiety, there's a bit too much sleeping. And then I think, that was a burp in my throat, then I think, well, wouldn't it be better not to be on the meds? Then I wouldn't be sleeping, in the afternoon, evening, or whatever. Or what is called sleep. I dream too much to really be getting proper sleep, restful sleep. But then, considering it was just a few days ago, the way I was without medication for some time was, it was too much. It was overwhelming. I was a terrible mess. I shook visibly. I mean, my symptoms of anxiety, the anxiety does not go away just because I have medication, but it certainly is alleviated. The loop in my head and the constant thoughts don't go away just because I'm on medication, but I am slowed down. And that slowed down can save my life and probably stop me from imploding my entire existence or relationships or yeah. There's a franticness in the extreme, but I don't like. Oh well, you know what? After all these years, I've got to learn. I need to learn what I can live with and what is worse. What is worse? Now, I did try one medication at one point soon after moving back, and I had such a horrible experience with it that I decided, no, if I'm going to go without sleep, because even with my main meds, if I'm going to go without sleep, though, because it inevitably happens, because these medications aren't a cure-all, I'd rather that than the extreme of this other med I tried, which basically was almost psychotic. It was not applicable to my condition, and it just was an extreme, and it was horrible. So I guess I'm in an experimental phase with prescription meds under doctor's care. But anyway, I'm back to the long-term dosages and the trial and error that was done years ago of what works and what I won't OD on or go overboard with. But I can tell you the pulling down of it is quite apparent, and the slowdown and the sleepy without rest. But I was not getting rest without the meds. At least I'm getting some sleep. I just wish there was more of a balance. And I wish I was able to do it on my own. Now, possibly I am. But the stress that my mind is under, for whatever reasons it may be, despite all the great things that are around me, not just things, but the fact that I am aware that my life is much better than a majority of the population, not just in the local area, but in the world. I've got pretty damn good. It's hard for me not to want to slap my face and go, shut up and put up with it, or make the best of it, or do better. And what a horrible way, though. This depression, reclusive agoraphobia, and high anxiety that I've been dealing with for so many years. I'm so hard on myself about it because, we view it as, we have so many conflicting views, even with these mental health marketing campaigns to make people accept that, it is a illness, just like you wouldn't tell somebody with cancer to get over it. Despite all these attempts, the stigmatization is not gone, and the hard the relentless beatdown that a person can give themselves over it has not gone away. Now, I've gone on for nearly 10 minutes, and this is not how I wanted to go about it. I wanted to tell you guys that my trying has been, I've worked on the 365 Days Self-Portrait Project every day since the 1st of January. I have some very crappy photos in there, just really uninspired, poorly executed photographs. But I have done it every day, and I've continued to do that into February, and the idea is to go 365 days. I'm pushing forward with it as much as I can, whether I feel like having a photo done or not, because I would hope to see some improvement by the end of the year, even if it's not in photo talent, because I may not have any in this regard. I at least want to see a difference in my life and see if that shows in the photographs by the end of the year. A photo diary of sorts. The other thing I started, which is I started the photos in January. In February, I started the 750words.com challenge. Just go 750 words, 750words.com, and it's based on the write 3 pages a day, 750 words. Keeps track for you, scrolls down like a typewriter without the typewriter noise. For that, I recommend the program Q10, which is free online. But 750 words keeps track, even does some nifty charts for you. You can keep it private or public. I'm distracted by a Twitter update. The thing about it is that I find that it's difficult to write, and writing is something I've always loved or wanted to do since I was a kid. I used to write creative stories. I didn't always finish them. Well, I mostly never finished them. Then I wrote a lot of crappy poetry for years, but I loved writing. I love books. I love poetry. Can't write worth crap in my eyes, but especially since I stop all the time. But I love it, and I do want to write, and writing has always been something I want to do, but I don't do it. It's one of those things when you have depression or something, you don't do the things you really want to do, or you're too hard on yourself, or I don't know if I'm being, whatever. Anyway, I've undertaken this task, and I actually have completed 5 days in a row of the 750 words. Now, you're supposed to do it for the whole month. I'm trying not to think about it or get overwhelmed, one day at a time. I've met my goal each day. It's not stellar, amazing writing. I go between sort of a boring journal sort of writing to sometimes getting more writey. I don't know even the word. More writerly. It depends on the entry. It depends on the day, but I'm just accepting it as it is, and I suppose the more I write, the more that those gears will start turning out. So we will see what becomes of that. I'd like to see me finish that challenge. It'd be neat to have done, a month or more of the 365 in a row, and then do a month at least of 750 words. So that's me trying. Because those are two things that I do love. I love creative endeavors, and I do have the time. So enough with the excuses. Give it a try, right? Upcoming February is a tough month for me. Financially, not prepared for the trip I need to make at the end of the month, which is the tribunal for the WSIB appeal. And it's supposed to be the final thing I have to go through with them. After that, it's waiting for their decision, which is inevitably no. But I'll have followed through to the very end. The appeal started in 2007, October. I lived here in St. Thomas when it started, and now I'm back in St. Thomas when it's going to end. I did not plan that. Anyway, this trip is going to be costly, and after it's done, I still have to, rent has to be paid when I get back, and life carries on, and I'm not likely to win, and, I have to deal with the emotional and mental fallout that it puts me through when I'm asked all these questions, and my files and my repeated openness with them should speak for itself, but it doesn't when you go up against a bureaucracy and they do not want to pay out or do the right thing. They just want to, they're responsible to their shareholders, which, what am I but another casualty. But, the fact is I'll have made it through it, and that's the end of this month, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to see it through. Economically, it's going to be tough, but March is going to be a month where, hopefully, well, with the 3 bi-weekly pays, for those that get paid on a bi-weekly basis, it's one of those months where you get 3, so that's going to help. It doesn't help February, but March will be hopefully ease into a better, more stability. At least, yeah, I'm hoping. So, it's just a matter of making it through that. I still update my book reading list. My concentration levels aren't that great, so I'm not reading very quickly, and I'm even hesitant getting into a new book for some reason. I keep track of movies that I've watched on letterboxd.com. There's no E between at the end near ED, Letterboxd. I have the link on my website, Goldmoura, GOLDMOURA.lovejournal.com. It has a link on the side, along with other links if you're curious. How else am I doing? I don't know. Oh, my ear is bad again. Ear infection, probably. At least an inflammation. And I don't hear out of it. But I have an ear specialist still scheduled for next week. So we'll see what happens there. Gonna try and get outside tomorrow and the next day. Take photos, I don't know. See how it goes. Gotta do something. It's the weekend for I call him my flatmate. But it's the weekend there for him, so we can hopefully do something. A walk would be nice. It's important to try and have some time together and connect as I sound sadder than I am. I'm just kind of tired and medicated. Not tired, but medicated. And I never vlog, and here I'm just foisting a 20-minute video on you guys. I hope that I get back to taking videos soon. That I go out and show you guys where I live now. hope that I find the good here. I've romanticized where I lived before, despite the fact that I still was a recluse there. When I did go outside, it was just, I felt so unbelievably lucky, and it was so beautiful. Here, it's a little harder for me. And yet, the first time I moved back here, in about 2006, 2005, 2006, 2006, I don't remember, something like that, I felt so unbelievably grateful and lucky. And here I've moved back into the same building, and it's even better. Even better building managers, more welcoming. The apartment is unbelievably nice, and is soon to have even more improvements, I'm sure of it. There's a settling in and a love here, and it's just me. I'm the problem. It's my attitude and perspective. And I guess I'm mourning the loss of what possibilities there were where I was. And it's a time period where not only am I overwhelmed by the upcoming conclusion, this tribunal, this thing dragging on forever, but I'm also facing the start over again, and the my reluctance to fully accept that I've somehow returned here, and that I don't know. I'm sure I will move forward. It just takes me a little longer. I need a period of adjustment. And this, when you have a big move that's a stressor, and then you have bookends pushed together that of two big events that are quite stressful. I'm just not able to fully go on yet in embracing everything wonderful and great about the situation. Bless me, sorry. It's flavored water. If you listen this far, I'll treat you by saying, watch Wreck-It Ralph. I know it's a Disney movie, but if you're into video games, especially retro ones, give it a watch. Made me cry. It's a really good film. I really loved it. That was the last film I saw that was good. And I'm still raving when I look over at Ready Player One, the book. I really recommend that book. That's another game sort of related thing. Music-wise, I've listened to a lot of Graydon James and the Young Novelists lately. They were a band in Toronto. They still are. And if you're in it, you should check them out. And TV shows. Well, I watched Supernatural. The last episode I saw was As Time Goes By, Season 8, Episode 11. Love it. Walking Dead's coming up on Sunday. And I like a zillion other TV shows. Sounds like my flatmate's home greeting the cats, so I'll let you guys go. I'll come out of the dark soon. Just give me a little more time.